Okay, next day, July 27th of 2024. We're going to talk a little bit about prepping, I guess you could say. Now, this is a popular YouTuber who gets a lot of views, and he's a prepper along with his wife. Okay, he doesn't make very long videos, but anyway, he came in with a list of things that you should be preparing for now in light of world politics that could very well go to a world war, right? Which would have consequences throughout the world. So, with that said, this is his list, okay? Salt. Now, I have salt in different places in my house because, you know, I've been collecting it over the years, I guess you could say. So I'm not too worried about salt outside of I'm wondering if somebody's throwing it out. Okay? Sugar, I don't have enough, but I have a fair amount. I'm not worried about the sugar being thrown out as I am the salt. Coffee, well, I have a few cans kicking around. It's nothing that I really stock up on. I've probably got about 5 or 6 cans, and as it is, I'm drinking instant right now. Okay, and I got a few other little bags with coffee beans. It's like he said, in time of rations and in time of scarcity, you're not going to care if that coffee is a little stale, okay? You're going to drink it because it's going to be that comfort drink. All right. Canning supplies. Well, isn't that interesting? What was I talking about yesterday? Who's going to inherit my canning supplies? Seriously. Like, what do I do with them? Save them for Andre? Fight my family? Fight my son? Fight my daughter? So that Andre has the right to keep my canning supplies? Yeah, okay. As if I got energy for that, people. It might come down to it, though. It might come down to it. How did your mom die? Oh, I don't know. I heard she was fighting over canning supplies. Yeah, she was fighting so hard she just had a heart attack. All of a sudden, dropped right in the middle of mid-sentence, fighting for her jars and her pressure canners. Right? Okay. Clothing, well, we got a lot of that kicking around. Plus, I'm a seamstress and I have fabrics and stuff. But, you know, again, you know, that's about as safe as that. Okay, that would be considered insignificant in the great grand scheme of taking up space right along with that, okay? That, you know, that's just a money maker. Sell off mom's canning supplies and we can get $300. You know, easy peasy. Let's go celebrate. Shoes, well, I don't store shoes, but, you know, any shoes that I may have, I'm looking to sell now because I'm going blind and I'll never wear them. Outside of my work boots that I work outside and whatever, I just use what I have. Okay, guns. I've asked my son for years to go get a gun license and to get a gun, but he hasn't done it. So, either or. Fuel, I don't have the knowledge, ability, or, you know, the capacity to save fuel. That would have to be something that my son would be more involved in terms of, you know, propane, diesel, gas, whatever it is, right? Obviously, I have books, but they're about as safe as that and that. Salt is not safe. Canning supplies are not safe, right? And books are not safe because people don't value the knowledge in the books anymore. They rely on Google for their education and general information, right? So they're at risk. Tools, well, I have them, and, you know, I try and teach Andre to look after them. I know if my son is using them, he's looking after them. So I'm not too worried about quote-unquote tools per se, outside of, you know, maybe Andre took out something and left it out there and lost it. Outside of that, you know, I'm pretty good with tools all these years. So with that said, you know, you have everyday people that are mature doing the same things that I'm doing on whatever level they're doing it at in terms of prepping for their family in the event of a disaster, an emergency, or, you know, the lights go out, right? In terms of hydro, right? And you're stuck with having to, you know, hold on a minute. Alrighty, before I start my day, I am going to do a follow-up video on Lady Jane's video that she just posted today, which is July 28th of 2024. In regards to the last $200 I donated a couple of weeks ago. Pushing on 3 weeks. I think so. And that money was basically for food. Because Mama Peter was running out of food. So $200 Canadian can buy a fair amount of food in terms of staples, beans, rice, that kind of stuff. Cooking oil, salt, a little bit of sugar, few fresh vegetables. And even then, right, it's the beans and the rice that last the longest for no more than 2 months, if that. All right. So, anyway, I am just going to do this on the fly, say it exactly the way I'm thinking about it, whether I remain thinking like that and my opinion doesn't change, or it's just a thought for, you know, to contemplate on, think on. Looking for that mouse. Because I'm kind of annoyed, people. You know, I'm annoyed with different aspects of what's going on here. Because currently, this whole situation is turning into like being a dirty secret. For if it, I know it doesn't make sense, but you know, considering from where we started out to where we ended up and what's happening here, you know, it kind of leans more towards a dirty secret where I don't see an end to it in terms of improving the situation versus being locked into a routine where the routine itself is just digging yourself into a hole deeper and deeper, right? Versus trying to dig yourself out of the hole. So anyway, this video here, I'm going to read the comment that I wrote first. 3 of them. And of course I lost my mouse again. Okay. I wrote, you shouldn't have to be sneaking around in the dark. Because apparently Lady Jane has to, well, she doesn't have to. She chose to go in the evening when people were inside their houses to drop off the food versus going during the day where they come out of their houses, which are row housing to some degree or another, and they begin to gather, and they look, and they watch, and, you know, they have emotions, and cortisol's going in their brains, and they kind of understand, but they don't understand, and, you know, there's a lot of emotions going on, right? And with that, jealousy, and then of course we've got some bullies in there, you know, trying to take control and lay down the rules. And so anyway, Lady Jane is trying to bypass all that by coming in the evening where they don't see her come in with the food, the bags or whatever, right? To avoid conflict, right? Because of that cortisol going on in the brain. So what it does is it takes away from the video that she does as a follow-up, you know, and it leaves the impression that she's having to sneak around in the dark, right, to just drop off food to a woman and some kids, like, and to what end? Is she going to do this every time she drops off a donation? Show up at night just to avoid conflict? And well, how often can you do that? Are we going to be here in a year from now doing the same kind of video with Lady Jane showing up in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning, right, 9 o'clock at night, whatever, doesn't matter, in the dark, dropping off food, whispering, right? How can anything good come out of that, people? It can't. So, and not only that, but because of what Lady Jane has done, and honestly, I don't even know how to pronounce that. So it's not like you can Google it on YouTube in terms of, if you heard about the name, you know how you can Google the name, chopping it up with Roz Squad. If you put Roz Squad, and chances are chopping up with Roz is going to come up. Latrice Allen, type in, it will come up. Canadian Prepper, type it in, it will come up. Popular Report, type it in, it will come up. People are not going to remember this. So that puts it even further on the back burner. As well as, we've only got 7 subscribers here. Do you see that? And at best, for whatever reason, getting 46 views on a video, and she's only got like 6 videos up on this new channel, to which she doesn't, Lady Jane, you don't promote it. You don't do nothing with it. And now it's kind of like turning out to be a dirty secret here. Because you're sneaking around in the dark, posting a video on a channel that is also being treated like a dirty secret. But yet on your main channel, you're frolicking, what is that? Patronizing and frolicking with again, loose shit. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't give donations to be a dirty secret. This whole situation is backwards. And like I said, I'm going to do a follow-up video the way I see it, the way I think about it, the way I interpret it, how I feel about it. Right? Basically, you've kind of reduced me down to a dirty secret. Even you don't add me into the description in terms of who made the donation. You have nothing in the description, right? Donation came in from New Nations Unity. You don't write nothing there, right? Forget the Mama Lynn. It's New Nations Unity. I have my own channel, Lady Jane. I have my own channel, for crying out loud. I've been on YouTube since 2009. Like, I don't know. Like, we're on 2 different playing fields here. Like, seriously. Right? I don't get it. Like, I'm kind of annoyed with this whole situation. I really am. I really am. Because, you know, I'm working hard, thinking hard, trying to build in something better than what we've got right now in terms of, I'm the only one making a donation to that community, whether it's in one household in terms of Mama Peter with little Peter and his siblings, or whether it's Mama Peter and a few other people in that neighborhood. Obviously, it's hard to support other people in that neighborhood when technically I can't even support Mama Peter. But it's kind of starting to come down to that, though. Why? Well, in part because there's something going on with your government that's allowing the poorest of the poor to fall through the cracks. Okay? So, there's Mitch Lindrood. He has the information to my nonprofit. Governor Rick Perry. He has the information to my nonprofit. I can't say Governor Christie has my information to the nonprofit, but he knows about the nonprofit. Okay? So anyway, all right. And then my beautiful daughter Shemaine, who is no longer here with us. You should be adding in my link, Lady Jane. You should be adding in my link into these videos. Otherwise, you're reducing me down to a dirty secret. As you gaslight me again, right? Gaslight me. She's good at gaslighting me, people. To say that I promised. No, more like you put the promise on me. But you're saying that I promised to do the floor. No, I never promised to do the floor. What I did is I brainstormed on the things that would benefit Mama Peter and her family over a progression of time to improve the living circumstances of the whole family in general through steps, right? With what were the immediate needs, in terms of food was the immediate need, right? And then, of course, it was the roof, which became an immediate, because it was something that kind of needed to be done ASAP, right? And then it was the mattress, because, you know, people have to sleep. So we did the mattress, right? And of course we've got the floor for different reasons, which is on the list. And then we added in the sewing machine to try and build in gainful employment opportunities. But it didn't mean that I was obligated or that I promised to pay for each and everything. Okay. But for whatever reason, I'm getting roped into it. Through that gaslighting technique. Because of the desperation around it. The desperation. If there was no desperation, there would be no heartstrings being pulled, right? Like, this is, like, not funny. You know, I don't like being cornered into something where I walk away feeling like crap. And, you know, the way it is right now in terms of this backward situation where, you know, I'm putting myself in the hole to, I don't know, like, it doesn't add up, Lady Jane. You need to get other people involved. You can't ask your 7 subscribers on your hidden channel that you don't even promote on your main channel. Okay? You're not that busy. You got time to put up these other, I made these other videos a while and I'm just running a string of them. Yeah, fair enough, but you're not stupid. You know how to build in a playlist. I've already done the video on it. You've got a sister that can help you. Clearly, whatever you're doing on your main channel, you didn't do it by yourself. You've got help with that. So if you've got help with that, you can have somebody help you to build up your charity part of it. because otherwise the way you're running it right now, like your videos, your follow-up videos are choppy. Your English gets more broken for whatever strange reason when you're on your main channel talking about, you know, the V's, right? You know, you can speak more clear, you're more poignant with what you have to say, you know. I mean, clearly you've got the gift of the gab, so there's nothing holding you back there. But when you get here and you start doing these videos, you know, like I don't know, like what your mission is here in terms of in terms of I don't know. All I know is you've got me on lockdown, basically. You got me as your main donor, your main supporter, the one who hasn't dropped the ball yet, okay? Obviously, I'm making this personal, Lady Jane, because I know you're watching this video. Okay. You know you got me in terms of that moral support, right? You know what foot we started on, okay, in terms of, I told you, you either with it or you're not. Right from the beginning, you told me you were. But your actions are starting to prove otherwise, because you've got your new quote-unquote channel, even though I advise you to do it, you know, on lockdown, right, with 7 subscribers. That's it. No point in asking other people to help you with Mama Peter, with your quote-unquote 7 subscribers, when you'd already know you're not going to get that help. And then you put that promise on me. No, I did not promise. I brainstormed, right? I helped you to isolate what was immediate needs and what were needs that could be built in, to build up the one household so that the community itself was just, you know, you're only as strong as your weakest link, right? We were just securing one link. That's not to say that other households don't, you know, don't need help, because they do. It's just, well, who am I? What am I? I'm a woman going blind, sitting up in Canada, barely hanging on to a nonprofit, you know, fighting the good fight. But yet, at the end of the day, I'm locked away like another dirty secret, right? Because you don't promote it, Lady Jane. And when you do the video, you're too choppy with your English. You know, you're not speaking as clearly as you should be. You're not explaining yourself as much as you should be. And you're sure in the heck not putting yourself out there to ask for other people to help you, when you just randomly say it on a video that you know very few people are going to watch, including your now 8,000 subscribers on your main channel. What, 2 weeks ago it was 5,000, now you're at 3,000, and you're at like 3,000 more subscribers, and you're at 8,000, over 8,000 subscribers now, and you're not asking not one of them to help you with this situation, as you're trying to put that promise on me, and then put everything on freaking lockdown like it's a dirty fucking secret, and you don't even have the decency to put New Nations Unity, thank you Mama Lynn from New Nations Unity, into your description box, because you want to keep me as a hidden dirty fucking secret, because that's what it's starting to feel like here, right? Are you sneaking around in the dark? What about maybe those women don't like your new content? Maybe that's why they're pissed off at you. Maybe it's not the fact that you're trying to help Mama Peter, it's the fact that you're two-faced. Because this is like being two-faced. Yeah. And it's Mama Little Peter and his family is getting caught up with the bullshit. What, YouTube bullshit? Is this the new YouTube mean streets? The beef sector? For what? I'm just saying. Like, How long do you expect me to keep forking over frickin' money so that you can tippy toe around the bigger issues as to why we're in this situation in the first place? Right? You know, you got some serious problems going on in your country, man. Like some serious freaking problems. You know, children are being trafficked in your country, and it's the Ugandan children that are being trafficked. It's not the Somalia children, it's not the Ethiopian children, it's not the Congolese children, and if it is, it's just a few in between the many Ugandan children that are being exploited here. Okay? So, these women that want to bicker and fight and whatever, you know, they need to stop the fighting, and they need to unite for the Ugandan children and build in the safety nets to protect them. And you need to tell them that, Lady Jane. Instead of fighting, you should be uniting. You should be uniting. If Mama Lynn could help your family, I would. And you know, that's why I'm thinking to try and invite these Africans across the street with their friends to do some events. Will it happen? I don't know. It depends. Maybe, maybe not. It depends. It just depends, right? I mean, you have to do the paperwork. You have to get the insurance. You know, it costs money for that, right? You have to, you know, and then when the time comes, if you put on a hall party or something like that, you know, you need X amount of volunteers, whatever, you need security, you know, there's things that you need, you have to pay for the hall, so that all costs money, it all takes people power, whether it happens or not, I don't know, because I'm sure in hell not going to pay for it, and especially if I'm sending all my money to Uganda with a woman that's sneaking around in the freaking dark, right, not being specific as to how much she spent, because I noticed that's another thing, you didn't put down how much you spent on what. Why? Is it because you're trying to protect Mama Peter from one of these people sitting up in this village going on and watching the video and then seeing exactly how much she got from Canada? Well, you need to explain to these women that there's only one poor woman helping one poor woman here at this point. You don't see another 10 other poor women standing behind me to help another 10 other poor women's households, right? So, you know, there needs to be a meeting of minds. A meeting of minds. I'm just mad with this situation. Because it's not about promising. It's about everybody doing their fair share here. Now, Lady Jane doesn't have to go see this woman. She lives apparently far away from her. How she found out about her, I'll never know. But since she's been involved, right? So anyway, I am thinking about the floor. But at the rate we're going, you know, I don't know. It's lopsided, Lady Jane. You need to balance it out. Seriously. I'm not a dirty secret. Don't treat me like a dirty secret. Alright? I got enough people trying to run around with their fucking dirty, stupid secrets. Trying to cover up this and cover up that. You know? Auntie Shimei's murder got covered up. Whole bunch of dirty secrets in there. Uncle John and the medical kidnapping, right, of him to steal his assets. That's another whole bunch of dirty secrets. And then we've got the illegal apprehension of Andre when he was just a little boy and was happy, right? That's another bag of dirty secrets. And then we've got Sierra being lured to her death after she was pimped out on the streets for how many years? That's a lot of dirty secrets in there too. I'm not right. I don't need this, Mrs. Lady Jane. You need to do better than what you're doing in terms of your promotion of follow-up videos. You need to put New Nations Unity into the description box and say Mama Lynn at, and make sure you got the link in properly. Because if the link is not in properly, then it tells me that you're trying to hide me like a dirty freaking secret here. And, like, I'm not that kind of person that's going to stick around and be abused any longer than I have to. Unless, of course, I'm in a situation like I am with my son. It's not like I can just pack up and move out and get away from him, right? But either or, you know, that situation, as we know, is not healthy either. So why would I want to commit myself to another unhealthy relationship? I don't. I'm looking for progress. Right? I'm looking for positive things. So maybe being that you don't want to ask your subscribers, okay, why don't we just go back to the beginning and do it the way it first started out? Why don't you start posting these follow-up videos onto your main channel in between all your sex videos? Because that's basically what they're about. You talk about sex. So throw me in the middle of that. Hell, if I can be with the freaking dancers, you know, in terms of strippers, making costumes and being their seamstress and tailoring them, right? And right, if I can do that, and then they go off and go strip with whatever I made for them to wear, well, I'm pretty sure I can be nestled in terms of my follow-up videos that, with my donations in between your popularity videos, being that your subscriber count is going up higher and higher and higher, right? Simply because you talk about sex. If you would drop the sex, you wouldn't get the attention. That's what I mean by backwards. Okay, here we've got a little boy and his family on the cusp of starvation, and nobody gives a rat's ass about it, except for a small few, right? Not enough to make a difference. But start talking about vaginas and penises, all of a sudden your subscribers go up to 8,000 and everybody's drooling at the bit, waiting for the next video just to watch you talk about sex. Okay. That shows you your priorities. Your priorities as a human being, being that you don't promote the charitable aspect of it, even though that's how I came into your channel, through that clickbait, click and switch bait, or whatever the hell it's called. Yeah. Like, giving money shouldn't make you feel like crap. It's starting to make me feel like crap. So why would I keep doing it? Especially when I can't afford it. And I've been trying to tell you this enough times for you to do something about it, outside of relying on me to go across the street and ask the Africans over there if maybe they'd like to do a hall party with me at some point in the future, or partner up with the park or something for 2025, so that what, we can fundraise for Uganda and little Peter and his family and the rest of his community, so that they can all rise together and be fucking happy together? Versus fighting like they're fighting now. Lady Jane's sneaking around in the dark to drop off food in the middle of the night. Like, who does that? And then don't even give credit where credit is due. Why don't you want to promote my channel, Lady Jane? I noticed that about you. Whenever you say it wrong. You call it New National Unity. It's not national. It's unity. Right? Easy enough to post my links into your video, but you don't want to. Hell, I opened up a whole freaking playlist just for you. And what? Am I talking to myself here? In my playlist? It's not that hard to open up a freaking playlist. You're doing absolutely nothing to promote these videos. And as you're asking for making it sound like other people are fucking helping you with this. No, the only one helping you with this is me. Yeah. And then you gaslight me with that promise. There's no promise. Hell, I can't promise anything for myself, for crying out loud. I don't have a future. I'm going blind, for crying out loud. There are no promises. I could wake up tomorrow and be completely blind, and it would be game fucking over. And then what? You'll lose your opportunity to actually carry on with whatever it is you're doing because you're not investing your time into that. You're just waiting for me to make the next donation as you're putting that pressure on me to do it. It's making me mad again. So there's my follow-up video on it. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed, Lady Jane, with the quality of the follow-up video, first of all. I think you could do a better job than that. I don't like you putting a dark light on it and trying to hide it away like a dirty secret as if you're doing something fucking wrong, but yet on the other channel, you right? It's sex. Okay. To me, that's backwards. Right? We're in that, do something good and it's treated as bad. Do something bad and it's treated as good. You do something bad and you're getting rewarded for it with your 8,000 subscribers or more for doing something bad. Because that's sure in hell not fucking good. Not in the real world of what good means. Okay? Sex is a private act. Right? Not a YouTube gong show for views and likes and commercial ads, right? Like, what are you promoting in the back room? It's like walking into a massage parlor. You're the reception room to the massage parlor, which is bad because once you get into the massage parlor and you go in behind closed doors, it becomes a fucking brothel, for crying out loud. Okay? That gets rewarded. But when you go and you feed people and you try and, buy them something to sleep on and, that kind of thing, fix the roof so that they're not being rained on when they're sleeping, that's treated as bad. You treat me like I'm bad. I don't like that. They're hiding me away like a dirty fucking secret. Yeah, okay. And then expect me to follow through on a promise that you put on me. I never promised. That's you with your scamming ways. Because it's borderline fucking scamming here. Because you play on my emotions and I don't like it. And with that, it makes me question how much you're really forking over what I'm giving in terms of the donation. Especially when you're not listing it down in your description box because you're too busy talking about sex on your other channel. Okay? You got all this time to talk about fucking sex on your other channel. I'm sure you can spend a little more time on this channel and freaking, improve the information as you're giving it to the public. Even though you're not putting it out there to the public, you hide it like a dirty fucking secret. Why don't you link this channel? Why don't you link this channel into your description of your main channel? You should, but you don't. Why? What are you trying to hide here? The dirty secret? The stuff that's good but is being treated as bad? Is that what you're trying to hide here? I don't like it, Lady Jane. And I need to get off this bandwagon real fucking soon if you don't make an effort. I'm serious. Like, you don't even know. You don't even know. Because I do. I feel like I'm starting to be scammed here. I'm not going to go bother people next door, ask them to fundraise for your village, Mama Peter's village. It's all one village. Well, I'm coming into contact with the old okie dokie. Well, little boy is falling through the cracks. Like that little boy sitting on the street with everybody just walking on by him. And, right? Because at the end of the day, there was nefarious activity around that situation, and nobody gave a rat's ass about it, right? So that kind of brings me, to a point where I'm, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm expecting too much, but I don't think so. I've already donated Lady Jane $1,000. That's a lot of money from a poor woman. I could have done a whole lot of fucking shit with that shit. Okay, and I didn't. Right? So you need to step up to the plate. Because no point in asking people to contribute when you don't even give full credit where credit is due for the ones that do, first of all. Right? And who you're asking is far and few in between compared to who you should be asking. In other words, you should be asking those 8,000 subscribers to be helping you with this situation on that main channel. Even you can say it at the end of your, well, let's talk about this sex. Oh, by the way, don't forget this channel. We're looking for donations to follow up on blah, blah, blah. Why don't you try that? But you won't. You won't. And that's why these videos are going sour, Lady Jane. If I do the floor, it will only be because I do it for the children. Yeah, little Peter and his siblings and his mom. But it's going to come to an end. Well, that's not true. It can go one of two ways. It's going to come to an end soon, where I'm just going to say I can't do it no more, because I can't. I can't do it on my own. You can't expect me to do it on my own. You can't gaslight me into doing it on my own. You can't trick me into thinking that I'm obligated to do it on my own because nobody else gives a rat's ass. Because I just won't. I'll just stop, Lady Jane. I'm not going to bother those people next door, the Africans next door, to do something in this situation if you're not going to do your fair share and ask other people that you come into contact with to help with this situation. It's disturbing. It's just as disturbing as that little boy sitting on the street with those so-called fine human beings walking by him, completely ignoring him as if he didn't existed. As if it was good. Yeah. See? The good, right? Gets rewarded. So I'm not impressed with this follow-up video. The last one I wasn't impressed with either. So yeah, on that video follow-up, which I may or may not come back and do another follow-up, I'm just annoyed with this whole situation. I wrote, you shouldn't have to be sneaking around in the dark. Because she's talking about how she's sneaking around. You need to allow these other women a chance to be on camera. Give them an opportunity to have their say as you explain the circumstances around this situation. In other words, it's a poor blind woman helping another poor woman. Your country has some serious issues with child trafficking. This is not a time for women to fight. Instead, they need to unite for the sake of the Ugandan, do you see that? Ugandan children, bottom line.